Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. I'm Preacher Mars, host of the SOS or Shout Out Show. Hope you have an amazing Sunday. You are in for a treat today. A Sunday potluck will feature Crypto BT Rick, a cryptocurrency educator and entrepreneur, will be joining us briefly. He's having some issues with his link, but he'll be here momentarily. Before I get started, I want to give another shout out to Sister Satana, who held it down yesterday, did an amazing job while your brother had to work. But I also want to give a shout out to my little miss, who actually did recitation for the Ramadan extravaganza for the Southeast Regional NOI Conference yesterday. I want to give her a special shout out and my NOI family. That's number one. Number two is, if you're coming on the show for the first time, or maybe even the second time, listen, don't feel like you are new. You are part of the Shout Out Show family. So I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Stop acting shy. Get in the comment section. Tell us who you are. Tell us who you are, what you're about, maybe where you're from. You know, we got a great topic today, so I'm hoping we may be able to get some reaction from you, the new people, okay? That's number one. Also, if you're new, please click the notification button, the like button, the subscribe button. We're trying to grow our little platform here a little bit. I hope you don't mind. We definitely would appreciate your participation in doing so. All right. So outside of that, man, I'm glad to be here. Yesterday was an amazing day. I have to say, the Ramadan extravaganza put on by Brother Minister Eric Muhammad from Muhammad Sponsor number 45 in Houston. He did a tremendous job, and also I'm going to give a shout out to the host. I can't remember her name exactly, but the host did a great job, so I'm going to throw that out there as well. All right? So listen, let me tell you what we're going to be doing today. You guys can see the potluck banner down here. That'd be the banner right here, and that potluck says that we're going to have Rick Sclafford here, our cryptocurrency educator. Rick has been doing this cryptocurrency thing before it got popular, before Bitcoin hit $60,000 a coin. He's a guy, he's also like my big brother, he's a guy who tried to tell me about cryptocurrency back in 2016, 2017. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Rick tried to tell me about cryptocurrency. He knew what he was talking about. It was a little abstract for me, but he's been working with me. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring him on the show, he did such a great job with me talking about cryptocurrency. This is his thing. He, former IT guy, had an IT company, but cryptocurrency is where his passion lies, where his expertise lies, and he's willing to come here on the Shout Out Show and share some ideas with you guys. We're going to have some Q&A back and forth, but he's going to give you guys a little bit of information beyond just buying a coin. I think that's important. Beyond just buying a coin, because there are other coins out there other than Bitcoin. And he's going to be bring some attention to that. He's also going to be telling you how you move your money, how you look at indicators. You know, basically, in this bit of time, he's going to be able to educate you about how you grow revenue with cryptocurrency. All right? So, before you do that, I think that's been about it. Shout out to everybody for coming on the show. We have a nice little crew. Let me get to the formal part. Let me give some love to the shout out family. Who we got here? We got Sister Ree. Ree, how are you doing? Assalamu alaikum. Hope you're feeling well. You're blessed. I know you're cooking something around that corner. Just so for the people who don't know, Ree is the official cook of the Shout Out Show. You probably will never get a meal from her, but I sample her goods and wares. The food is amazing. Trust me, I eat for all of us. All right, Reed, big up to you. I want to give a shout out to Johnny L. Thomas. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, little brother. Thank you so much for coming on the show. JT was asking some great questions earlier about service to God. A great conversation we had earlier. And maybe we'll even delve into that in another show. But I appreciate you giving me a call. He's also fasting, brothers and sisters, as we head into our last 10 days. I want to give a shout out for that. That brother's holding it down. Thank you so much, JT. Our Canadian ambassador to the show, Altaf Rashid. He is here. He's in the building. Altaf, I don't know how they get down with cryptocurrency in Canada. I'm imagining the same way around the world. But Altaf, I want you to take this information and share it with our Canadian brethren and sisters about this cryptocurrency thing with our host, Crypto BT Rick. All right? We got Sister Ike all the way from Indonesia. Sister Ike is holding it down, doing the catering stuff. Big shout out to you. I know you just coming off of Suhoor. Get into the grind basically for Ramadan. Peace and blessings be upon you and your family. Thank you so much for attending and sharing your time with us. All right, this guy here says I'm new. Doug Robinson. Doug Robinson is not new. I'm just kidding. Doug is a good friend of mine, a friend of the ShOUT Show family, and a personal friend of Preacher Moss. Thank you for coming on the show, Doug. Doug turned me on to NFTs, as a matter of fact, sent me something and spawned my imagination, my creativity, and some of the things I'm planning to do in the future. So thank you so much, Doug, for joining us on the show. And we also want to send condolences to Doug and his family as his only aunt passed away. So we pray that Allah is pleased with her as he receives her. Okay, brother? Thank you for coming to the show. And how could we forget our consulting producer, Satana Whitfield, that makes the show go even when I'm not here. I'm going to give you a shout out. You did a great job, Satana. Even though I was messing with you in the comment section, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much. Standing ovation for sitting ovation for Sister Satana. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you. And look forward to having you host some more shows. And my main man from Raleigh, North Carolina, how can we forget the irrepressible Imam Oliver Muhammad, my main man? People don't realize, man, when I talk about Allah made me funny and things like that, this man was one of the people who put it in our space. You know what I'm saying? He put it in a space whereby I could do something like Allah made me funny, really something like the ShOUT show, the inspiration to go out and want to communicate and deal with our people and show love to our people. So this is an amazing thing. So, Ma'am Oliver, we're going to be talking about this cryptocurrency thing. We appreciate you coming on, and hopefully you can tell some of our brothers and sisters in Raleigh, North Carolina, there's a democratization of currency in this cryptocurrency, and we have our brother here. Maybe we can send him down to Raleigh to inform and share this information for some of our brothers and sisters down there about how you make money with cryptocurrency. So I don't want to take up more time because I'm excited to bring this man on. He's our crypto expert. I'm gonna make Rick, Crypto BT Rick. I'm gonna make him our resident cryptocurrency advisor. I just made that title up, but it sounded darn good, didn't it? I'm gonna have him on a couple times because I know there's gonna be a lot of questions about this stuff. So, without any further ado, brothers and sisters, he's been my friend since I was 4 years old. He's been doing the crypto thing since 2015, 2016, doing it well, sharing information, which is really important. Sharing information. He has a course that you can go to. I mean, he does everything to educate people. He gives people coins to start your business. So listen, brothers and sisters, I'm not going to hold him up anymore. Let's bring him on to the show. Assalamu alaikum, Rick. Oh, hold on a minute, brother. Let me hit your volume there. Okay. Can we unmute Rick? Okay, Rick. All right. Let me see here. One of these has got to work. Rick, you got something for me? Let me see. Let me try it again. Okay, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Rick? We can't hear you.
Add the phone.
Are you calling me on the phone? Okay, hold on a minute. Let's work this out. Okay, put Rick back in there. Mic isn't connected. Why don't you call me? We can work this out one way or another, brothers and sisters. Okay. All right, Rick.
Yeah, I've added phones to log in. just using the mic on the phone, but my camera is logged in using the PC. So you have two BP Rick there.
Okay, let me find out. Satana, can you hear that? Okay, Satana can hear it. So, first of all, man, big brother, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Shout Out Show. Uh-oh. I think you gotta call me back. All right, we got you back.
All right, you got me?
I got you. I got you.
All right.
So we're gonna make this work. First of all, man, welcome to the show. We appreciate you. Very excited to talk about cryptocurrency. It's something I brought up on the show a couple times. Really, really, really. I'm a lot more astute about it. The whole idea again of how you can democratize currency. We've been force fed fiat currency our whole lives, and I've been one who said, "Hey, man, I was on that plantation, if you will." But I see I see what the situation is now. I appreciate you trying to tell me years ago, preach, get into this. But I was in my own head, man. I was in my own head, and it takes a little bit of doing, but I see where it is, and I'm impressed. Number one, and I'm intrigued. So I got $250. How do I get into the crypto market? You're breaking up a little bit.
What about now?
Oh, perfect.
Okay, let me bring my phone close. It's a little too close.
It's all good.
Okay. All right, so the main thing you have to do is be able to link. Oh, good.
You might have to mute one of those. Go ahead and keep the phone on, Rick.
Yeah, I'm going to exit the.
I'll work the sound from my side so we can hear you. Okay, that's cool.
All right, can you hear me now? Yeah, still get feedback. Let me put the headphones on. Let me go to DJ Rick.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, let me go to DJ Rick though. It's my other speakers on my desk.
Okay.
That better?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, it was getting feedback.
No problem.
Okay.
So I got $250.
Right.
I'm stubborn. I'm old school. I never heard of cryptocurrency. Somebody says, "Hey, this is a great opportunity, a new way, if you will, to express yourself financially." What do you tell me? I'm a skeptic. What do you tell me?
I generally tell you to go ahead and get yourself a micro wallet provider, which would be something like Coinbase. That is the main exchange that we U.S. customers deal with. And there are other trading exchanges you can get into later. But if you're just trying to get your money into crypto, you would want to go through getting into Coinbase first, because that is like a pathway from your bank to the crypto markets. And there's other exchanges that actually will provide you with a way to, add your funds to the market. But when it comes down to what I call the most secure way, would be through Coinbase.
Okay. So Coinbase, does that allow me to exchange with other different types of currency? I mean, how many different types of cryptocurrencies are there, Rick?
There's over 4,000 cryptocurrencies.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so when you think about the ones that you hear traditionally, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, recently Chainlink, and some others, Polkadot, those are just some alternate coins to Bitcoin. But you have over 4,000 other alternate coins to Bitcoin, and any of them can actually get you a nice profit if you basically get in the market at the right time. That's just like anything else. Whether you're dealing with stocks or gold or what have you, you have your varying prices that, trend up and down in given periods of time. And if you come in low, and get out in a high price, and you generally are making profit. That's the general consensus of trading.
Why are there so many different types of currency?
Mainly because of all the different projects. I mean, no different than you had mentioned earlier about your NFT,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, well, that's an idea. Okay, you had your idea, but it's a platform that you have to build your idea on top of.
Sure.
And so there's multiple projects in the crypto space that generally, give other projects an opportunity to build their platform on top of the Bitcoin platform or Ethereum platform.
Okay.
hmm
So exactly, a lot of this is being patient with the market.
That's true.
Being patient with the market. Now you have a course that you're offering. What was the incentive of putting the course together?
Wow. Just taking the average person and being able to turn them into a wealthy person, because I'm an average person and I've been able to become wealthy doing what I've been doing. So I'm sharing just exactly what I did to get to that point.
So we have a comment from Brother Jawad. Can we put that up, Zatanna? He said, what percentage of investment portfolio is safe to invest into Bitcoin?
Hang on 1 second. Say it one more time.
He said, what percentage of investment portfolio is safe to invest into Bitcoin? He said some people I know are putting.
Well, the percentage of portfolio, I don't go based on percentage of portfolio because I didn't have anything outside of the cryptocurrency space. So anything that I have invested has been pretty much 100% of my savings.
Okay.
Because even if the way I looked at it was, even if I had $1,000 in the bank and wanted to put it in some sort of a traditional savings account, money market account, I'm not going to earn what I'm going to earn in crypto in the bank, period.
Can you expand on that a little bit?
Sure. I mean, generally we know that savings accounts in the banks and these traditional other types of assets that we can purchase through the bank, they don't pay a percentage more than 1% in a given year.
Right.
In cryptocurrency, you can make 1% a day.
Wow.
Okay.
So there's a certain urgency. This is what I like about cryptocurrency. There's a certain urgency when you get in that market.
Right.
And I think the urgency is I'm going to invest bigger, or I'm going to look for bigger investments or bigger opportunities.
Right. But if you have zero investment funds to start with, you have to get it from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Within the space, there are different projects that offer free tokens or free coins, just for signing up on their site or their platform. Just like with Coinbase, they'll give you $10 worth of Bitcoin when you deposited your first $100 into the crypto space through their platform. So it's kind of like giving you a 10% on your money right in the door, coming in the door.
I got
you. See?
One of our viewers asked if we can get the link to your class.
Sure. I think Satana, I messaged her on email. There's going to be a link that I can provide that you guys can share out.
Okay.
Basically, it's on my website at btfunding.com, but it's a special link. It's not a part of the links that's on the main site itself.
Okay, we'll get that link up.
And it's a password as well. Everybody that wants to get into that training class, the password to get into that link is BT-RICK without any space, and it's all lowercase.
Okay, BT-RICK. We're going to put that on the banner. So one of our questions is, why do cryptocurrency over the stock market?
Well, the stock market is your traditional markets that is centralized. You have the SEC playing this game, the Securities and Exchange Commission. They play their game with helping to protect the investor. When you enter into crypto, you're into a decentralized space. Okay. Decentralized means that there is no one governing body over the space. It is just generally the community. It builds a space through adoption, when you have a group of people who are the investors buying into the market, that is your community. Okay, so it's a community driven type of platform where, yes, you have your projects and they all have their use case in the platform. But when it comes down to your investment side of things, you're actually helping to fund these projects when you buy the coins.
You buy the coins.
Right.
So one of the questions we have from JT is, with so many cryptocurrencies out there to choose from, how do I narrow my option to pick a currency that's right for me?
Well, you first have, JT, thank you for asking the question. You first have to identify what is your focus. Do you want to invest in things that are more driven towards decentralized finance, or do you want to get into the NFT market? There's a bunch of coins that are NFT that are not Bitcoin-based coins, and they're not DeFi-based coins. So depending on how you want to go at where you want your money to sit, Bitcoin has been shown that it has a growth rate of 200% per year, no matter what, over the 12 years that it existed. So when it comes down to the idea of, okay, I buy Bitcoin today, if it's going to appreciate 200% over a course of a year, I can double my money twice. That would be the consensus, if you will.
Okay.
Okay, but if you're going to go and play with investing in these other projects, you have to really kind of understand how that project integrates with the network, and how traders perceive trading that coin over the course of time. So every market has its own market flow, from bullish to bearish and bearish to bullish. And some assets, they trade for the most part. They have like an annual type of a cycle. But, these cycles can come by 6 months, 8 months, just depends on the asset. And so that's where you have to do your, a little bit more research on what you're actually investing into.
Okay, well, this is a great question right here. Do you see the SEC invading that space? If so, what impact will it have?
The SEC is on my S list.
What's the S list?
But if this is a rated PG, I'm not going to say the word.
Oh, okay, got you. I missed that one.
They're on my S list. Okay, they're on my S list. So yeah, the SEC.
They on the pool.
They are already invading the space by going out there and trying to levy penalties and lawsuits against certain projects that are illegally selling securities in their eyes. Okay, so when it comes down to how I see decentralization, SEC doesn't belong in that place. That's my personal thought and opinion. They don't belong in that space, because when we have the opportunity to go into decentralization, it means that we are parting ways with our governments, regulating our currency, regulating our personal finance. That's what decentralization means.
Well, but you see a lot of companies, Chase at one point in time totally denounced Bitcoin. Then you turn around and you see that Chase is trying to buy up as much Bitcoin as they can.
Yep. Because there is a belief that the government never wanted the average human being to know about this phenom. It's been going on for years. And now they're trying to bring it into the spotlight in a way to, I guess you could say, marginally bring people in at their call. They'll talk crap about it to scare you away from it, then bring you into it the way that they want you to come into it.
That would be
rich. They're not going to come up with regulations right away. I don't give it to before 2025 before they get enough regulations in place to actually control the market the way that they are intending to try to control it. They would just have to totally do what China did, which is to ban cryptocurrency in general across the board. And I don't see that happening because it would be an economic disaster.
So, I mean, I talked to a friend of mine. He said the only way they could stop crypto is they have to shut down the internet.
Basically, yes.
Well,
Yep, because when you think about it, who is Satoshi Nakamoto? Do you know?
I think it's Satana. we got
Hey,
Queen
Satana,
Bitcoin on the show.
Satana, so Satana, give me that 12,000 Bitcoin that you got sitting in your back pocket over there.
Well,
But see, Satoshi Nakamoto is the fictitious name of the people or the person who actually created Bitcoin. Period.
well, I
And
understand
to
it
this
because
day,
it's like it makes sense to me to have a pseudonym when you do something like this because in some regards it's almost like you're printing money. You're printing new money. Like you're coming up with a new type of currency. Anywhere else you're doing 15 to 20 years.
as long as it's legalized, I'm on board with it. And as far as I'm concerned, if they have not made it an illegal thing to trade Bitcoin, you would not have Coinbase going out there and making billions of dollars a year at this point, trading or allowing people to come and trade on their platform if it wasn't legalized in some kind of way.
We got another question, Rick. So Bitcoin is the most popular coin. Should I just invest in Bitcoin until I get more information?
It's a safe bet. What you do have to understand, JT, is that there's a market trend. Right now, Bitcoin is at about $57,000 a coin. Based on my technical analysis, I have Bitcoin potentially reaching between $250,000 and $300,000 a coin by the end of this year.
Really?
That's what my technical analysis tells me. The market analysis at the time we get to the end of the year will tell us the truth. When we have all these predictions out here across YouTube, Reddit, people make these predictions, but based on my self-education, I learned a lot of my technical analysis from Steve at Crypto Crew University. He has his own channel on YouTube, Crypto Crew University, and I've taken about 2 years worth of looking at a lot of his educational videos that he has for free.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I give my info and my experience for free. But that analysis, based on technical indicators and past history and past performance in Bitcoin in the market, it has led me to that price level, potentially.
Well, this is a great question. Jawad was saying nobody really knows who the creator of Bitcoin is. So this question comes from Satana. It says, how does one get involved at $50,000 per Bitcoin? This is a great question because people don't realize that you actually can't buy a Bitcoin. You can only buy a part of it. Can you clean that up for me?
So it's a portion of a Bitcoin. That's where Satoshi's name comes up. But no matter what the price of Bitcoin is, I always tell my people, it doesn't matter what Bitcoin's price is. Your amount of funds that you were going to put into your investment is what it is. It's just a matter of how much is Bitcoin going to appreciate from 50,000 to the next highest level.
Right.
As where you're making your money. So you don't have to have $50,000. And that's what, yes, the biggest deterrent is looking at the price. Because you think about buying a car that's $50,000, you know darn well the bank ain't going to approve $50,000 loan when you barely make $20,000 a year, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. That's it comes down to investment into Bitcoin. Is right. What you have available that you want to invest and which asset do you want to buy? Because right now the consensus is Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin this year in terms of percentage or rate of return, which I'll have to agree with. Because Ethereum started out this year somewhere around $600, $700.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to 3K now. It's up to 3K.
Wow.
As of today. Some have, and I don't follow Ethereum's chart, but what I do know is the reason why Ethereum Ethereum is essentially getting the hype or the growth rate that it's getting because of DeFi and the NFT networks.
Right. I was
That's
gonna ask
exactly
you
why.
about that.
And so because those networks are new and they're just starting out, um, some people are predicting Ethereum hits $18,000 a coin by the end of the year. Some are predicting a little bit higher than that. Some people are predicting a little lower than that. The one thing about new all-time highs on any asset, you don't have anything to compare in the past. So the predictions become more of a scalable thing based on, past performance that you can kind of predict a percentage of growth, but it's not as accurate as something that you can bounce from the past. And
Okay.
Ethereum is at an all new time. A new all-time high right now as we speak. So as it continues to grow in price, and this is just the beginning of the year per se, this bull market that we're in is generally supposed to last through the end of the year, and maybe beyond. So if you're getting this growth rate out of Ethereum at the rate that it's going so far, I'm just saying, 7 times or 7x. Bitcoin didn't do a 7x in the last 3 months. It's done maybe a 2x, but not a 7x. You
Okay.
see?
So we have another question. So what are the experts saying about government regulators getting in at some point? Uh, if they do, the market will crash, but that they did in the past with other issues, right? Subprime market crash, things like that. Like when the banks all of a sudden were able to get in the real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
When they had CDOs, collateralized debt obligations.
Right.
And even today, nobody figure out what the heck is that algorithm that you can give a person that with no money a $500,000 house, and the person with money can only get a 200,000. It crashed our market. Um, so I think there's a general hesitancy too about what's
Well,
going to happen with regulations. And literally, we just had COVID. You know, I don't know how much the pandemic drove up prices because people began to not have a lot of faith in the system, the
right.
governmental system, the health system, and of course the economic system. A lot of money moved. It's sort of like when when the economy goes bad, people they move their money out of money and they put it into gold because gold is a safe bet. So Bitcoin became a safe bet for a lot of people because the government had nothing to do with it. So
Well, based on what I have observed in my 6 years now, is it 6 years? 2014 till now, yeah, almost 7 years. These 7 years I've been in this space, and all the hype around Bitcoin going to zero, government coming in and going to take it out from underneath of us and on and on. Um, I'm an enthusiast. And, if they came in and wanted to shut down the market today, the amount of money lost, I don't know where it would go to. Because if people can't actually sell their coins back to the bank because they've shut down exchanges, the exchanges have the money, but they're actually regulated by the same people that want to post regulations against the world. The SEC can't post regulations overseas, but they can post regulations up against overseas companies or projects that want to interact with the U.S. You see, so when it comes down to every country, every government has its own stance on cryptocurrency. That's what we're seeing. China has shut down the ability to mine, but then you see these posts out there on, Cointelegraph or something like that that says China has been found to have been mining Bitcoin in its own little secret way. But yet
mm,
they shut it down to their people. They won't let their people mine it, but then they started mining it. You
it's
see, so
interesting.
there's a whole lot of speculation on this and that. A lot of it is scare tactic because, be honest with you, as much as Bitcoin has grown and as many more people and more entities, I mean, you're having hedge fund companies coming in and buying up the Bitcoin. And these are the same companies that are regulated by the SEC or the government.
So we have I'm gonna I guess I'm gonna try to summarize this. Brother Jawad said that he was worried about getting in and then losing big if the SEC decides to take a piece of the pie. He said 'cause people are making money for sure, but he missed that bounce. I missed that bounce.
Which bounce? How many bounces did you miss? Because
the big.
there was a few of them.
I'm still I like what I'm hearing now, but I largely because I understand it more.
Right.
So it was really more a concerted effort to understand finance as a whole, not
Right.
just Bitcoin. So I had to understand what are they doing in terms of finance right now, as opposed to me trying to take this one thing of cryptocurrency. I want to know the relationship of cryptocurrency, like issues like when the economy goes bad. Um,
hmm
Everybody knows, one of the issues with the housing crash when Obama came in is not only did he have to prop up the banks, he had to prop up all these shadow banks with these hedge fund people who were operating as banks, except they didn't have the protection of the FDIC, so they couldn't offer people insurance. So, to deal with contagion of those shadow banks that crashed, they had to make sure that the banks had money. The banks didn't even want to take the money in some regards. But because of
Right.
contagion, they were like, listen, we have to cover every base.
Right.
Could there be an issue of contagion with the standard U.S. economy, the stock market, and things like that, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin? Could it be a case of contagion with them?
Well, you know what? In this space, in my opinion here, because I'm certainly not a financial expert. I just happen to have been in crypto, and I can give you guys a lot of insight on how the actual platform has performed over the last 5+ years, based on my knowledge and experience. But when it comes down to these other caveats, if you will, when we're talking about these regulators coming in, I mean, we're talking about tax regulations.
Mm-hmm.
IRS has yet to come up with a legitimate way to tax us in cryptocurrency. For 3 years, they've been trying to figure it out. Okay, but yes, when they do, they'll put a tax standard on there in terms of how they're going to be able to pick the. I'm sorry.
No problem.
When they come in and actually put a tax regulation, there's the time.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
The tax regulations is going to come around, in my opinion. It's going to come soon, whether it's next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, they'll get it together.
Mm-hmm.
But we as citizens that have to pay taxes should just pay out 20% capital gain tax and call it a day. Set aside those funds. If you're making money, set aside the tax funds so that you can pay the man when he asks you to pay him. That's just my opinion on that. I mean, because we don't know how they're going to tax, but I just say set aside that 20% that is a capital gain tax as a minimum.
So Jawad, he made the point that, is it too late to get in? Did he miss the whole thing? I don't know if you can hear me. But how do you, what do we do to get in? Like, did we miss it? Can you hear me? Hold on. Reach took you out, so I'm gonna. So hold on one second, Rick. Rick, just hold on one second. I think Preach took you out when you went out. So let me. There we go. Okay, awesome. All right, so go ahead, if you go ahead and repeat that
Okay, where do you want me to pick up?
from the beginning. As soon as Preach went out, like your whole
Alright,
voice went out.
okay.
Yeah, your whole sound went out.
All right, so when it comes down to, is it too late to get in? No, it's not too late to get in, but you don't want to come in at a peak in the current market structure that we're in. Okay, so there are different levels. What I'm eyeing right now is a $59,700 price. That is our resistance price currently. So we're sitting at 57,000 today. So coming in right now, we may get another dip back into the 40,000s again, possibly if we don't break above this 59K level. That's just from my analysis as of today. All right. So if we break above 59K, then we're looking at $70,000-$80,000 coin between now and the end of May, easily.
And so you're saying
Okay, so
to
that
pack.
would immediately start bringing you profits.
Mhm.
You know, if we don't break the 59.7K level convincingly, then I would say that we may get another retest back down to 50K and maybe down into the 40s. But right now, I call that more of a consolidation area. Bitcoin has been doing these $12,000 pullbacks. It's absolutely insane where you're at $60,000 price one day and then 3 days later you're at 48,000 because of a market correction. But that is the range that we're in right now is a $12,000 range from top to bottom. So we're kind of closer to the top right now in that range that I just mentioned. And if we break through that 59.7K barrier, we could be seeing $70,000 to $80,000 a coin in the next week or two.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we got another
Another
question
question,
from Jawad. I was going to ask that myself. What platform do you recommend to buy cryptocurrencies? How much do they typically charge to buy or sell?
As much as I like to say that Coinbase is your most secure way to get in, they do charge a hefty fee, and it ranges from, I think it's either a 10%, depending on if you do the credit card or slash debit card, you know, where you get immediate access to the funds, or if you're going to go just doing the wire transfer from the bank. But either way, there is not that they charge the fee. They put a premium on the price of the coin you're buying. So while the fee doesn't look bad, buying it at a price that is about 5% above the true market price is what I call highway robbery. You know, I mean, but we have to absorb it. I mean, there's no way around it in all honesty. You know, if they want to go and say it's a 10% premium to buy Bitcoin, you know, the exchanges are the ones making the money off the break. And I get that, you know, because they can't make people keep their coins on their exchange. So they got to still be able to make money. I get that. I mean, you could get your Bitcoin today, transfer it to an offline wallet tomorrow, and the exchange no longer has the rights to the value of that coin being on their exchange. You see, so they have to make their money, and I get it. It's just that when you understand how much it costs you in terms of the price, like if Bitcoin is at, say, 57,200, but yet Coinbase says, well, in order to buy it, here's 57,300. You've bought it for $100 more than the current market value.
Okay.
Wow.
You see,
And Coinbase has a real big marketing presence. You know, I see them in a
yeah,
lot of apps. I see hear a lot of commercials on them. So yeah,
right.
so they pay a lot into that segment. So yeah, I guess they
Yeah.
have to.
It's just I've been on Coinbase ever since 2014. That's how I first came in.
Okay.
Okay, so I've seen where it used to cost a lot of money to buy Bitcoin, and then they started taking away their fees. But now, you know, I was like, oh, great, they came down on fees. Then I turned around and found out I bought Bitcoin for $100 more than what I could have got it somewhere else. You know, and that somewhere else is where you have to draw a line and say, do I trust that somewhere else?
Right,
Because
right.
multiple, you know, and that's where you have to go with the security side of things. If your funds are secure going in and out, then that alleviates that one concern that you're always going to have is my money going to get lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because there've been some incidents and current events prior where the Bitcoin just disappeared. The money just
If
they
you
made it
enter
look like the
if
money
you
just
enter an
disappeared.
incorrect address, I had one of my followers back a few years ago. Poor thing, she was trying to play in a coin. This was back a few years ago when I wasn't teaching. I was I was teaching, but I didn't have like a training platform set up. And so This was on the Poloniex exchange, and she went to go she went and traded another asset for Bitcoin. She was trying to make the money on an altcoin by trading her Bitcoin over to this other coin. But then she wanted to go withdraw the Bitcoin, right? And she went to go try to withdraw her new asset that she bought with Bitcoin into Bitcoin instead of trading it back to Bitcoin and then transferring to Bitcoin. So bottom line is every asset on the blockchain has its own wallet addresses, and if they don't match up with the exact asset, your funds are lost. Every exchange will show you that in their terms of use statement. And they even tell you right there on the withdrawal screen, if you send this coin to an address that is not Bitcoin, your funds will be lost. Same thing for if you have another coin, let's say Ethereum. If you send your Ethereum to a Bitcoin wallet address, it's going to be lost.
Wow.
Period.
So yeah.
Okay. So it's really a personal accountability thing that comes into play when you get into the space. But if you understand what you're dealing with, then you won't make a mistake.
It's fair enough, man. It's fair enough.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great if we can actually talk about your course and
Sure.
let's get those links up. I know we have some questions, so anybody that is interested, please go to www.btfunding.com. Password is BTRick. Again, that's www.btfunding.
Well, let me interrupt on that. Hang on, let me get the actual link.
Okay.
Because that's just to the website. That's the main website.
Okay.
And it's not going to ask you for a password there. It's just going to take you through everything that's not trading. So let me get that link for you.
That's informational, right? So your website.
It's just informational. It basically is a thing that will help build your knowledge. It's informational. The main site, yes, that's just informational, but the training platform that I'm putting together is supposed to help build your knowledge into understanding what assets are, what fiat is, all these terms and things that you guys have been asking me about today on a basic level. That information is provided out on the training course.
So what's
It
the
kind of
best way?
expounds on things about prices and how you calculate profits and things like that. Most of it is basic if you're already an investor. But those people who've never invested before, they need to be brought up to speed with that. So that's why it's a basic course.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna post the link in this private chat here.
Okay.
Perfect.
If you can take it, you see it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's the actual training course, and when you get to that page, you have to put in the BT Rick.
Okay. So then, let me do that. Sorry.
I actually just did that site up, or that page that you guys are dealing with. I just did that up today. So I wasn't burning no 4:30 a.m. midnight oil like you were the other day, Satana. But
Remember that, huh?
I spent the entire day getting this platform updated so that the viewers can actually have a good experience without having to go through a bunch of posing questions and asking me how to get to the next level.
Okay.
All
So
right, we
it's
appreciate
basically
that.
a 4-module course. Talks about. Let me bring my page up so I can. Okay,
So let me
the
just
first.
repeat it while you're, so it's btfunding.com slash 2021 backslash oh 05 02
Backslash O2 backslash
crypto
dash
dash trading dash basics with an S dash beginners with an S dash course no S, and the password to there is BT Rick.
correct.
Okay. I'm also going to drop this on the Facebook page,
Sure.
so you all can pick it up from there as well.
And we can put it up at the end of the show
Yeah.
so that people can watch it at the end of the show. We'll post it at the end of the show so everybody can bring it down there.
Yeah. But go ahead and describe the courses. So if someone gets into this, what should they expect?
Okay, so basically it's a 4 lesson startup. The first module just talks about money versus assets for those that don't know what that is. And then the next lesson talks about the types of traders. The lesson after that, 102, talks about terms and phrases used in the marketplace that we are in. And lesson 103 teaches you how to do calculations. So each module has its own little quiz at the end. And in order for you to go to the next module, you have to get, that quiz answered so I can see how much you picked up from just reading the material or the content that was on each lesson. So Satana, when I sent you those links before, you got it before I put the quizzes out. So guess what? You got to start over.
Well,
You have to start over.
due to Ramadan, I have not started. So
Okay, good enough. Good enough. So you didn't miss anything then. But yeah, I did put the quiz out there the quiz is actually to continue your self education, because what I found when I was self learning on my own for the last 2 or 3 years or 2 years before creating this content, some videos I watch them 5 times, make sure I get it. Things that I was reading, sometimes I may have to read it 5 times or 10 times. It just depends on what the content was that I was trying to get a basic grip on, so that I can make the best decisions that I'm making as I'm doing trading or trying to figure out something within the industry itself. It's just, I found that it's a very good learning tool to use in terms of being able to just go back and repeat, because repetitive visualization of something will constantly be forever up here, at the end.
So let me pose this question. Um, do you see anything in the future of you putting together a platform for uh, youth to learn more about finance and things like that? There was a collective of young guys, but they were more like computers, gamers, and stuff like that when the original Bitcoin came out.
Yeah.
So with the
You're talking
digital,
about youth pre-adult or
yeah,
teenage?
as young as we can get them,
Well,
they need to be learning about this. This is like I'm framing this. This is almost like, okay, listen. There's college, there's high school, but if you really want to do well in college, focus on your major in high school. So when you get to college, you're not having to relearn everything. You come into a situation, a scenario where you have domain knowledge about this. Now it's about being creative in the space.
well, I think when I looked through my lesson 100 through 103, 104, well, actually, 104 is not even on the list, but that has to do with just getting the apps that you need in order to trade in the training platform. But those first 4 modules are basically taking a person with zero education in finance, investment, what have you, and bringing them up to speed to just be able to trade in this space to make money. That's what it's designed to do. And I've already gotten 3 or 4 people, including Aunt Max. I don't, is she on the call?
She has a link. She might be on.
Okay. Well, Aunt Max has been doing beautifully. You're talking about somebody who was just excited to get in. She went through her 4 modules in about 7 or 8 hours, I think she told me. That she was just, she was cranking them out. And so when she called me the next day, she's like, I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. And so I said,
That's what she sounds like.
okay, well, I said, we need to get you into the app. And then that's when I found out that she's using an Apple device and the app is not downloadable in the Apple store. So I had to go create an entirely different platform to teach her on using a browser. But she's already made 2 profitable trades in a week.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So we have one more question. I think it's a personal question.
But before I get to that, the lesson is don't use Apple.
Say it again.
I said, but the lesson here is don't use Apple.
So Rick, somebody wants to know, Do you trade crypto as a full time gig?
I'll put it to you this way. I would say yes, but I also run a business as a full-time gig, as you already know,
Yeah.
Bright Technology. So I'll put it this way. This past year, after I put together my platform and started, after I took all the 2 years of learning what I'm teaching at this stage of the game, I've made more money in this past year trading than I've made in 5 years doing my business. I'm talking about profitable money in the bank.
Okay. All right.
You
So
see the
that's
lessons. You see
and
the
really,
lessons.
honestly, I don't trade full time because full time trader would be something I would classify as I'm sitting there watching the market all day and making moves all day long and night. I don't do trading like that. I basically am a positional and a swing trader combined. And every now and then, if I see a coin that is moving and I have some funds to throw at and just go grab a quick 20-30% profit on it because I see the opportunity, and great, but I don't sit there and try to figure things out, especially during a bull market, because things are generally just going up, but when you're in the bear market, that becomes a little bit more of a manageable or management style of trading where you actually have to look at things a little bit more closely. But in the bull market, I don't really pay too much attention to what's going on in terms of, my profit or loss levels, because anytime we get a dip, you just saw where we dipped in Bitcoin down to 47K this past week.
Right.
And now we're back up to 57K. I told all my followers in my group, don't sell anything. I put a post out there, don't sell anything because the market's generally going to go down, correct itself, and bounce right back up in a matter of 2 or 3 days. So we had to weather the storm. Everybody held their ground, and none of us were in losses at the end of that 3 days. We came right back up to where we were.
And so the way that you're teaching is the way that you invest in Bitcoin.
Say it one more time.
The way that you're teaching students is the way that you invest in Bitcoin. It's the same method.
That is the way to get started. But I teach more how to swing trade with the other alternate assets, which is the altcoins. I mean, if I were just to tell somebody, yeah, you can go and buy Bitcoin today and not sell it, until later, and they will make profits down the road. They'll make profits maybe tomorrow if Bitcoin's price goes up. It's just a matter of the percentage of increase in price that actually gets you the return, when you came in and what the current price is.
Well, I mean, that's good stuff, Rick. Crypto BT Rick, thank you so much for coming on the show, brother. We appreciate you. And
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.
Well,
all you viewers, I appreciate your questions, and hopefully, we'll be able to get together again sometime.
well, we're gonna bring you back. You're our cryptocurrency expert in residence. I think we need to have a crypto segment for you once or twice a month to talk about the market.
Fair enough.
All right.
And I can do it when I'm on travel.
All right. That will work out beautifully, man. Thank you so much, beloved. We appreciate you, and we're gonna have you back, man.
All right.
So
I
we're gonna
appreciate
wrap
you
up the
guys too.
show, and I'll give you a call after the show, inshallah.
Okay.
All right.
That'll
Assalamu
work.
alaikum.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So that was. I
I
mean,
like that.
look, if
So-
you're not excited about that, I don't know what to tell you, because I know I like what I heard. Of course, I admit, the first time he told me, I looked at him like a dog staring at a ceiling fan. I was like, but the way he's talking now, he has more knowledge about it than 2014, 2015, and also he has experience with it, the highs and lows. He has a relationship with this market, this cryptocurrency. So I really like, plus the fact that, like he said, he's trying to help people.
Yeah, and the way that he explains it, you can tell that he's an educator because we're getting it. And as I said, like Jawad is like really invested in the conversation.
Big ups to Jawad, my man.
Yeah.
But
So-
no, I loved. I liked. His thing is he wants to see. It's interesting. He says he wants to see people with wealth because that's what makes the market grow.
Right.
The more people who are in the market and are making money, that's what makes the market more profitable. Which
Yeah.
is an amazing, which is totally antithetical to what the normal market is, which is for me to win, you got to lose. If it's $100 for me to get $80, you got to have 20, and that's totally not what Bitcoin is or cryptocurrency is, because there's no regulator on it. There's no regulator on it, and I think the idea is that there's not a cap on it. I think that has to do with they can't tax it, but it's a growth community, and you rarely have an opportunity to be a part of a financial growth community. Most of the opportunities are very private, equity, things like that. But cryptocurrency is, we don't even know who made the first coin. But you do have a situation scenario whereby you can make money. So I'm gonna give a shout out again to Rick, and I'm also gonna give a shout out to everybody in the queue that was asking questions. They were flinging them, and I was trying to answer them all. Make sure that you go and check out his course. We're gonna stick that up at the end. Right now, we want to go ahead and get to our sponsors. If you guys don't mind, we'll give a shout out to BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. Again, that's BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. Make sure you check that out, BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. If you don't want to go there, you can call 1-800-679-3175. Again, that's 1-800-679-3175, and you can talk to a live person. That would be Miss Maxine B. Cade, who's a financial advisor who Rick was actually referring to, who got into the crypto market going through his program. So that's number one. Number two, we want to give a shout out to Bayan Online. Again, that's Bayan Online. And Bayan Online is, of course, the website for Bayan Islamic Graduate School, of which I am graduating this month. Alhamdulillah. So I encourage people to check out Bayan. Because in terms of religious knowledge or expanding your religious knowledge, particularly into a master's degree or MDiv or Master of Divinity or things like that, Islamic studies, they're doing something that's really, really unconventional. Number one, they're working with non-traditional students. That's number one. Number two is they're also offering a lot of financing and grants to make sure that you get through the program. I myself am a recipient of the Muhammad Ali Leadership Award Scholarship, and literally gave me 3 years to get my degree, and they worked me out some family issues, so I didn't graduate with my class. I had to take off a moment. They didn't take my scholarship. They worked with me because they realized it's important for me to get this information and go out, and much the same as Rick, and we want to go out and we want to positively affect society. Okay, so have a new ad up. We're going to shout out Launch Good. We are going to be hyping Launch Good for the last 10 days, the final 10 days of Ramadan, hoping that all of us get our prayers answered to Laylatul Qadr. So, like I said, brother, this is a great show. I hate to go to a commercial because I feel kind of cheap and cheesy, but I got to do it. Could you roll that commercial, please, Satana? Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh, everybody. You're probably looking at your screen going, that's a scrumptious looking black man. And you're right. My name's Preacher Mars, comedian extraordinaire. Now, brothers and sisters, you're probably saying, what looks better than that black man right there? I'll tell you. The thought of giving the people in need and assisting them when they need it. Sounds good to me. With that, I introduce the Launch Good Ramadan Challenge. Again, that's the Launch Good Ramadan Challenge, which I'll be highlighting on my show, the Shout Out Show, the last 10 days of Ramadan. Now, brothers and sisters, don't miss out. I'm going to tell you why. I am a good-looking black man, yes. I'm a comedian extraordinaire, yes. But the Ramadan Launch Good campaign is a dope project. And I tell you, if you join, you might actually be as dope as me. Now, some of you going, Preacher Moss, I've heard people talk about the Launch Good Ramadan Challenge. What makes your message so different? I'll tell you why. I have a fireplace. Flame on. I thought you guys liked that. Flame on. All right, everybody, listen. This has been a great show, a very informative show, and we will make sure that we put up the link for the link for the. There we go. We're gonna keep that up through the end of the show. You guys have been amazing. I gotta get out of here. We went over an hour. Can you believe that? We're an hour and 6 minutes in. That was incredibly quick. And forgive us for the audio problems. These things happen, but it seems like people were getting information anyway. Forgive us for that. But I want to thank Brother Rick Sclafford for coming on and breaking this thing down. He took his time and a very professorial, if you will, in breaking down what the market is. We'll actually have this copy of the show on Facebook, and I think we're actually going to put it on Instagram TV, so people can benefit. So again, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you also for the well wishes for my mom. She's doing a lot better. We hope to see you guys soon. Take care of yourself. I'm Preacher Moss. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hey everybody, this is your brother Preacher Moss. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed your shout out show experience. We'll be back with the next show, the next shout out show. A simple ask before you go, please help your brother out. Click that subscribe button, click that notify button, and I'll see you again on this side of the microphone. You probably wonder what that smell is. That's me. I smell good. And the reason I smell good is because I use oils from Tarif Altar. So I'm not saying you can't smell good. I'm not even saying you stink. I'm saying you have the opportunity to smell exquisite. Check out TarifAltar.com for some of the best oils and scents in town.